This is Glenn Rice with Clearview Sewer Cams. We're located at 1527 South Wooster Street, Los Angeles, California, 90035. Today is June 17th, 2022, and we're performing a video sewer reinspection of the vitreous clay sewer line. The vitreous clay sewer line did have quite a bit of root intrusions in the line, so we did have the line hydrojetted, and now we're going to reinspect. This is our 4-inch ABS mainline sewer cleanout located just to the left of the walkway in the plant area underneath a large metal sewer box cover. Metal sewer box cover here, and this goes out towards the street, and this goes towards our front door area here along the walkway. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and zero out our camera monitor here at the top of the cleanout. And we're just going to drop down and take a good look. So we're just going to push out slowly so we can take a really good look at the joints. As you can see here, we do have a fairly large offset. As soon as we drop down and we transition from the black ABS sewer pipe to vitreous clay sewer pipe, you can see that we do have a fairly large offset. You can see the full face. I'm going to pull back just a little bit. You can see the full face of the pipe there. And you can see the full face of the pipe there. And we're going to just go ahead and jump up and over this area. You can see that it's just holding water in that area. So we're going to go ahead and jump up and over that area. We're going to continue to push out. We're just going to push out slowly. And we're able to get the roots out of those joints there. Again, we'll continue to push out. And that joint appeared to be in fair condition. Coming up on the next joint, that joint appeared to be in fair condition. And we're coming up on the next joint. I'm going to pull back just a little bit. And that joint appears to be in fair condition. And continue to push out. And that joint appeared to be in fair condition. And that joint appears to be in fair condition. Again, we're able to get some of these root intrusions out of these joints. And that joint appeared to be in fair condition. Coming up on the next joint. That joint appears to be in fair condition. And that joint appears to be in fair condition. We'll pull back just a little bit. And that joint appears to be in fair condition. Coming up on the next joint. And that joint appears to be in fair condition. We'll pull back just a little bit. And that joint appears to be in fair condition. And coming up on the next joint here. And this joint here, you can see that this joint had pretty heavy root intrusion in that joint there. You can see a little bit of the buildup and stuff where the roots were kind of stuck to the top of the vitreous clay. So again, we're going to push out slowly. And we're going to continue to push out. We're going to drop down. And then dropping down a little bit of a chimney. And those joints appear to be in fair condition. And that does appear to be our test tee in that area there. I'm going to pull back just a little bit. You can see that we do have a test tee. We have an opening in that area there, right around the 12 o'clock area. So again, we're going to continue to push out. And in this joint here, you can see that we do have a fairly large, we'll pull back just a little bit, a fairly large break in this joint here. So it's pretty much the full diameter of the pipe. You can see it coming around from the 6 o'clock, going all the way up and around to the 6 o'clock area. So it's a full diameter of the pipe. So what we're going to do is we're going to pause here for a moment. We're going to locate this area. Okay, we went ahead and located this area, and it is at 9 foot 9 inches deep on the sidewalk, just in front of the steps that approach the unit. So again, we did mark it with the red crayon at 9 foot 9 inches deep on the sidewalk. So again, we're just going to go ahead and continue to push out. And coming up on our next joint here, and you can see that we do have another crack in this joint as well. So again, we're just going to push in just a little bit. And we're going to pause here for a moment. We'll mark this area as well. Okay, we went ahead and located this area, and again, it's just in front of the area that we just marked, and it is at 10 feet deep. So again, we're just going to go ahead and continue to push out. And got a little bit of an offset in that joint. Pull back just a little bit. Okay. And again, it does appear that we do have another crack in that joint as well, from about the 3 o'clock going down to about the 6 o'clock area. So again, we're going to go ahead and continue to push out. This area here is right in the grass area, just in the parkway area. It's on the kind of the grass, the sidewalk there. So again, we're just going to go ahead and continue to push out. Got a little bit of offset in that joint there. And push out. And we're going to pull back just a little bit slowly. Pull back a little bit more slowly. Again, in this joint, it does appear that we do have another crack in that joint as well. You can see the crack starting from about the 6 o'clock going up and around and coming around down to about the 5 o'clock area. So again, we're just going to go ahead and continue to push out. And again, this is in our parkway. So again, we're going to go ahead and continue to push out. And coming up on our next joint here, pull back just a little bit. And we're going to, a little bit offset in that joint there, but nothing major. So we're going to go ahead and continue to push out. And again, another offset in just this joint here from about the 3 o'clock going up and around to about the 8 o'clock area. So again, we're going to continue to push out. And coming up on the next joint, and we're going to pull back just a little bit. Again, it does appear that we do have a crack in this joint as well, right around the 3 o'clock area going down to about the 6 o'clock area. So we're going to go ahead and continue to push out. Again, a little difficult to mark the area. The streets are full of cars, and basically all this stuff is pretty much underneath the cars in those areas. So again, what we're going to do is we'll push out. We're coming up on the next joint. We're going to pull back just a little bit, and a little bit of an offset in the joint from about the 9 o'clock going up and around to about the 3 o'clock area. So we'll continue to push out. And again, coming up on the next joint, we'll pull back just a little bit. And again, a little bit of offset in that joint there. So again, we'll just continue to push out. And we're coming up on the next joint. You can see that we do got a little bit of offset in this joint as well, from about the 3 o'clock going down to about the 6 o'clock area. So again, we'll continue to push out. And again, another offset in that joint as well. Continue to push out. And that joint appeared to be rare condition. Coming up on the next joint here, and again, you can see a little bit more of offset in that joint there. And we're going to make a little bit of a turn. And we're going to drop down into our city sewer tie-in. So we're going to push out a little bit further. And we drop down into our city sewer tie-in. So we're going to pull back just a hair, get us right up at about the saddle. And what we're going to do is we're going to try to locate this area. We'll mark it in the street. So pause here for a moment. Okay, we went ahead and marked this area with an orange dotted paint in the middle of the street, and it's approximately 10 feet 5 inches deep, bouncing around a little bit in between 9 foot 9 and 10 foot 5 inches deep. So again, we did mark that area with the orange dotted paint. So we're going to go ahead and continue to pull back slowly. A little bit offset in the saddle there, nothing major. And again, another offset in that joint there. So again, we'll just continue to pull back. We're just going to take a good look at these joints on the way back, just to make sure we didn't miss anything. So again, we did comment on all the joints on the way out. So again, we're just going to go ahead and pull back slowly. Okay, we'll pull back, come to the next joint. And we continue to pull back. Again, we did call out that area there with a little bit of a crack. And we did call out all these offsets in the joints as well. So again, we're just continuing to pull back slowly. Again, that piece of root there is free. We were able to get the majority of all the roots out of the joints. Take a good look at the joints. And a little bit of offset there. And again, this one pushed in just a little bit. This joint here, as you can see, this joint here is the joint that we have a full break on. And again, we did mark that on the sidewalk. So again, we're going to go ahead and continue to pull back. And again, we'll push back in just a little bit, right there. And you can see in this joint here, we do have a fairly large break as well. And this one we did mark as well on the sidewalk. So this break here is the full diameter. So it's going from the 6 o'clock area all the way up and around to about the 6 o'clock area. So we're going to pull back just a little bit just so we can take a visual look there. Just a little bit more. Right there. You can see there, you can see the break coming from about the 6 o'clock going up and around, and then it's coming down around the 2 o'clock and going down to about the 6 o'clock area. So again, we did mark that area on the sidewalk at 9 foot 9 inches deep. So again, we're going to pull him back up, and there's our test tee there. We're heading back towards on the property. And again, we did have quite a bit of root intrusion in these areas here. So we were able to get the root intrusions out of the joints. Those roots will continue to grow back over time. Just a matter of time before they grow back. So again, we'll just continue to pull back. And push in just a little bit. And again, we can see here in this a little bit more. In this area here, you can see that we do have it appears to be a nice, fairly crack in that joint there too as well. Again, when we get to the office, we can take a really good look as we view this again. So again, we'll continue to pull back. And again, we took a look at these joints on the way out. Continue to pull back. Make a little bit of a transition. We're going to pull up and out of our clean out, and that will conclude our video sewer reinspection.